Welcome to Short Story Alley. We bring you interesting stories from around the world. Today we're reading you A Golden Sunset. It's about love, mistakes, and second chances. Evelyn and Daniel had always been friends, but after they grew up and got married, the pressures of life got to them and they split up. Now, almost 3 decades later, can they simply pick up where they left off? This is a clean love story for seniors who still enjoy romance. Please like, subscribe, and browse Short Story Alley's unique Lie Different playlists to find your kinds of stories. Our playlists represent a wide selection of alleys. Now grab some snacks, sit back, relax, and enjoy A Golden Sunset. And please don't hesitate to discuss the story in the comments. Chapter 1. Party Pooper. The scent of freshly baked cookies wafted through the air as Evelyn, Sarah, and Gaby gathered in the cozy living room of Evelyn's home, their laughter mingling with the sounds of holiday music playing softly in the background. The room was adorned with twinkling Christmas lights and garlands, giving it a warm and festive glow. Evelyn, dressed in a comfortable sweater and jeans, smiled as she adjusted a wreath on the wall. "I can't believe it's almost Christmas again," she said, her eyes lighting up with excitement. Sarah, her close friend and neighbor, grinned back. "I know, it feels like just yesterday we were decorating this place. Now, we're doing it all over again. How time flies." Gaby, Evelyn's spirited niece, chimed in, her eyes curious. "Tell me again about the old times, Aunt Evelyn." "I do love your stories so much, especially the ones about boys," she giggled. "Your aunt was a stunner back in the day. She still is, as a matter of fact. All the boys wanted her as their high school dance date," Sarah added while Evelyn smiled shyly. "Really? That too?" "You need to tell me these stories, Aunt Evelyn. I'm simply dying to know what really happened," Gaby begged. "Well, aren't you a nosy one? You've read my books, haven't you?" Evelyn asked Gaby. "Yes, but you've never really told me your own story." At that, Sarah began to laugh while Evelyn shook her head. As Gaby looked from one beloved senior to the other, it suddenly dawned on her that all the stories she'd read in her aunt's novels were actually about her aunt. They were all Aunt Evelyn's stories. After a light lunch of Mediterranean salad and grilled chicken wraps, the trio settled on the couch, surrounded by boxes of ornaments and old photo albums. As they flipped through the pages, reminiscing about past holidays, Sarah's voice softened. "You know, Evelyn, I heard something interesting today. Daniel is in town." Evelyn paused, her fingers tracing the edge of a faded photograph. "Daniel?" she asked, her tone laced with surprise. Memories, both sweet and bitter, flooded back. Sarah nodded. "Yes, he's back. I bumped into him at the grocery store. He seemed different somehow. More contemplative, maybe." Young Gaby, always curious about family history, leaned in. "Who's Daniel, Aunt Evelyn?" Evelyn sighed. There was never a dull moment with Gaby. She was 10, but rather than go on playdates with her friends, she always chose her Aunt Evelyn. Hanging around an old lady was rubbing off on her too. Her parents said she was more mature than her 17-year-old sister. Evelyn stared at the old photograph. "He was more than a friend once," she said softly. "Then everything changed." Sarah squeezed her shoulder. "Maybe this is your chance for closure." Evelyn kept her eyes on the picture, lost in the past. She knew Sarah was right. Perhaps it was time to face the past, to confront the unresolved emotions that had haunted her for years. Unrehearsed tears threatened to spill out of her eyes, but she held them back with a determined glint. Evelyn put down the photo album. She remembered that fateful day as if it was just yesterday. She had rehearsed the words all morning, one hand resting over her stomach, smiling at the thought that this finally would be the day everything made sense. Years of trying, doctor's visits, quiet tears in the dark, and then, impossibly, hope. She went to his office to surprise him, carrying joy like a fragile secret. She saw them before he saw her. Too close, too familiar. His laughter unguarded, careless belonging to another woman. The future she'd imagined shattered in an instant. She turned and ran, breath breaking, vision blurred. She never saw the cyclists, The impact was sudden, the world tilting hard and fast. She wasn't badly hurt, scraped knees, shaken hands, but later, in a sterile room filled with apologies and fluorescent light, she learned the cruelest truth of all. The baby was gone. In one day, she lost the child she'd fought for, and the marriage she'd built with her own blood and belief. And he would never fully understand that his mistake didn't just break her heart, it erased a life she had carried, with hope all the way to his door. "You know what?" she said, a newfound resolve in her voice. "Maybe it is time to face the past. Maybe it's time to forgive and move forward." In that moment, surrounded by the warmth of friendship and the promise of the holiday season, Evelyn decided to embrace her fate and put the past behind her one last time. The possibility of a second chance never crossed her mind. She'd had her own fair share of heartbreak to last her a lifetime. Sarah's eyes sparkled with excitement, her curiosity piqued. "So, is he invited to the party this evening?" she asked, her voice filled with anticipation. Evelyn hesitated, her mind racing with conflicting emotions. "I'm not sure, Sarah. I mean, it's been so long, and there are so many unresolved feelings." She trailed off, her gaze fixed on the flickering Christmas lights. Gaby, sensing her aunt's hesitation, chimed in, "But Aunt Evelyn, isn't Christmas all about forgiveness and second chances? Maybe this is the universe giving you a sign." Sarah nodded in agreement, her warm smile encouraging. "JB's right. Sometimes we need to take a leap of faith. Invite him, and who knows? Maybe it'll bring closure, or perhaps even something more." Feeling the weight of their words, Evelyn took a deep breath, her hands slightly trembling. "You know what? You're right. Let's invite him. It's time to face the past." As they finalized the decision, Evelyn's mind wandered back to the memory of her first date with Daniel. She remembered the nervous excitement that had fluttered in her stomach as he had picked her up in his old, reliable car. They had gone to a cozy little cafe, where their laughter had filled the air, and the connection between them had been palpable. A soft smile tugged at the corners of Evelyn's lips as she recalled the way he had looked at her, his eyes filled with genuine interest and kindness. The memory of that night fluttered her with a mix of nostalgia and longing, reminding her of the feelings she had buried deep within her heart. The thought of seeing him again after all these years made her heart race with anticipation and trepidation. She felt a whirlwind of emotions, a blend of excitement and anxiety, as she wondered what the evening would bring. With a sigh, Evelyn shook off her nerves, determined to face whatever lay ahead. After all, Christmas was a time of miracles, and who knew what wonders the night might unfold.